As the man of God was sharing a series of visions with us, this is what he said about the United States.
In the United States, I listen to me. The Lord said they must pray, for the airspace is invaded. He says this 2025 we must cover the airspace for many spirits. They are in the air and they want to kill many lives. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me?
We see 2 airplanes crash in 1 week. This cannot be normal. Truly, we are fighting against spiritual forces in high places. Let's continue to pray for the United States of America.
More details are emerging following the deadly passenger plane and helicopter collision in Washington, D.C. that's said to have killed all on board. Without knowing any of the detail, US President Donald Trump has already pointed the finger at what he believes to be human error. Our US correspondent Catherine Firkin is there.
Despair and heartbreak on the Potomac River as the rescue operation turned to recovery.
At this point, we don't believe there are any survivors from this accident.
Authorities confirming the worst. All 64 passengers and crew on board American Airlines Flight 5342 and 3 soldiers on board a military helicopter have perished.
This was a dark and excruciating night in our nation's capital and in our nation's history.
For the loved ones of victims, an unimaginable loss.
We loved him. We're so proud of him. We're going to miss him so much.
Douglas Lane has lost his son Spencer, a competitive figure skater with dreams of making the Olympics, and his wife Christine, who he described as a beautiful, creative person.
Whatever, she just was one of those people that could kind of plug in anywhere and just connect with people.
But as family and friends begin to grieve, authorities want answers.
We will look at all the humans that were involved in this accident. Again, we will look at the aircraft, we will look at the helicopter, we will look at the environment.
President Trump went a step further.
The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions.
He blamed diversity hiring policies for the accident, suggesting at least some of the cause of this horrific tragedy must be human error.
And Catherine joins us now from DC. Divers have been called off.
Good afternoon, Naralda. Yeah, we've recently learned that divers have managed to recover the bodies of around 40 victims involved in this horrific incident, but they have now stopped their search efforts because they don't believe they're going to be able to find any more people until the wreckage of both the plane and the helicopter are removed from the water. That, of course, could take some time and could involve some pretty heavy equipment, but authorities certainly believe more victims may still be trapped, particularly in the wreckage of the plane. Now, unfortunately, we're also hearing tonight that they fear they may not be able to account for every single victim, and that's because of the high impact of this collision and the effect of that massive fireball that we saw on impact. So unfortunately, that is terrible news for families. But having said that, investigators certainly say they are going to remain on site and they will have answers. They're going to work out why this accident happened, and more importantly, they are going to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Now, they have made some progress on that front. They found one of the black boxes tonight, either from the helicopter or the plane, and that of course will contain crucial data. Now, one other area of interest that's getting a lot of attention tonight is the role of air traffic controllers. Of course, this airport is one of the busiest and the most congested in the United States, and we have just learned that one of the air traffic controllers on duty during this incident was essentially doing the job of at least 2 people. Whether that contributed to the crash, we don't yet know, but Naralda, that's certainly something authorities are going to look into, and we are expecting a preliminary report into this crash to be handed down within about 30 days.
Thanks for that, Catherine Firkin in Washington, D.C., and we'll be speaking to an aviation expert a bit later.